Hi, it's Paul Morris, and thanks for joining me with Life Lessons. And this one is about mastering and using behavioral analysis tools. There are some very simple ones. A lot of us are familiar with Myers-Briggs, but there are some ones that are easy to use, like a DISC profile. You can Google it online. At Keller Williams, we use a KPA, which is the Keller Personality Assessment. And these tools are so powerful. Even as we look at ourselves, certainly when we get in relationship, business, and otherwise with other people, but it helps us to understand ourselves. And I'll give you an example, and that is when I do a KPA or I do a behavioral analysis, one of the things that it shows me is one of my most dominant tendencies is to be impatient. And while, that sounds terrible, right? But in some instances, it's the folks that are really impatient that get a lot of stuff done. So for a CEO, for the head of a sales team, for a team leader, this impatience is actually a jewel, and how you can harness that. Now, at the same time, it's very important for me to be a dad. So just knowing that, I'm like, okay, wait a second. When my daughter was 4 or 5 years old, she used to say, "Hey, Dad, hey, Dad, hey, Dad." And what that really means is, hey, you're not listening to me. And so one of the things that I would do as soon as I learned that impatience was one of my most dominant traits was to be able to do a workaround. And so she would still give me the hey dad, and sometimes it was like, hey, you gotta wait a minute. And then when I had time, I'd kneel down and get down on her level and say, okay, well, what is it? What do you want to tell me? And then she would tell me, and sometimes a story from a 4 or 5 year old can be a little boring. And when she was done, I'm like, okay, tell me what else? What else is on your mind, right? When really what I wanted to do is like, well, let me jump back to work now. So a behavioral analysis tool can help you to succeed by showing where your dominant traits will help you and also where you can benefit by understanding what they are and morphing in that particular situation. So I have found that behavioral analysis tools and the use of them is something that will take you very far in the journey. Thanks for listening.